Strongholds.
Hold the zones and we score, Spartan. The enemy has captured Bravo.
Enemy team scoring.
We've lost a teammate. Thrusters acquired.
Another one down. Tango's closing in. Another one down.
Cinder shot inbound.
Damn it.
Stronghold Charlie is ours. The enemy has captured Alpha. Stronghold Charlie lost.
Enemy halfway to victory. Team nearing victory.
Tango's closing in.
Defeat.
Oh, it's on your phone. What? Oh, you too.
Slayer.
Kill everything that moves and try not to die.
Another one down. Taking cover.
Active camo available.
Great kill. Stay mobile. Close. Target down.
Killing spree.
Add that silverware to the pile.
Spartan down.
Active camo inbound.
Halfway to victory.
Active camo inbound.
Pop their shields. Pop their shields.
Nearing victory.
Tango's closing in. Enemy field down.
Active camo inbound.
Victory. Strongholds.
Capture and hold the zones.
Your team scoring.
Spartan down.
Enemy team scoring.
Teammate.
Stronghold Charlie lost.
Oh, lost a teammate.
Your team scoring.
Down there. Seals.
Damn!
Shields are down.
M41 Spanker available. The enemy has captured Alpha.
Enemy team scoring.
Shields are down.
Stronghold Charlie is ours. Stronghold Bravo lost.
Shot.
Stronghold Charlie lost. Stronghold Bravo is ours.
Your team scoring.
Tango's closing in.
What a shot!
Double kill.
Racking up the accolades. Captured Charlie. Stronghold Charlie lost.
Enemy team scoring.
Stronghold Bravo lost. M41 Spanker inbound.
victory.
Take cover. Up there. Keep it up. Spartan down.
Stronghold Alpha lost.
Double kill.
Add that silverware to the pile.
Your team scoring.
M41 Spanker inbound.
Stay mobile.
Stronghold Bravo lost.
Enemy team scoring.
Damn.
Close.
Stronghold Alpha lost.
Shields are down. Triangle's
We've captured Bravo.
out there.
Your team scoring.
Stronghold Charlie is ours.
Enemies close.
The enemy has captured Bravo.
Lock their shields.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Enemy team scoring. Your team scoring. Enemy team scoring. Your team scoring.
Damn it.
M41 Spanker inbound. Stronghold Alpha lost. We've captured Bravo.
Enemy team scoring.
Stronghold Bravo lost.
Enemy team nearing victory.
The enemy has captured Alpha.
Down.
Platinum 2.
One, two, 1, 2.
Hello?
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 Yes, I can hear you.
What's up?
Looks like you are a team lead. Yeah, you're the leader. Follow leader.
We all play.
Whatever. Your choice. Dealer's choice. I want to play some poker. How about that?
There you go.
You ever play, what is it called? Poker Bros?
No.
I played one time. Ran out pretty quickly.
Did
But I
you?
want to do it again. As far as I know, they're still doing it.
Yeah. Curtis. You know Curtis?
Yeah.
He invited me to a game over by his house. They play on Tuesday nights. Like, you need at least $1,000 though to play.
Yeah, he invited me too. He does my taxes.
Yeah, he does mine as well.
Yep. So he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm more like $100 guy right now at this point in my life.
Like, I
I
could
mean,
spare. I could reasonably see like two, maybe 300, but
yeah.
1,000. That's
It's a lot.
quite a bit to be just risking, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
Go. Act fast.
because you
Spartan.
have to be completely 100% okay with just losing that.
Exactly.
And if you can just spare $1,000, then sure, why not?
Then it's like,
Right.
well, if I'm risking $1,000, why am I not taking this money and investing it on like Robinhood or something?
Yeah, or like a CD, or like there's like so many things, like a mutual fund, or
literally
like investment.
anything.
I mean, there's just so much you can do with $1,000, and like, you know, that's Taylor's attitude towards like a lot of things.
Let's
Is,
be
you
the
know,
best
he just
little
feels like there's
player we
better
can be.
uses of his money, and so that's why he kind of stepped away from a lot of stuff that, you know, we all grew up doing, because he's just like, there's so much more important things in life, you know, time wise or money wise, that, you know, that should be spent on. But, you know, my biggest argument always with Taylor was, well, everyone needs hobbies. You know, you should always have a hobby.
Exactly.
And he doesn't disagree with that. He's fine with people having hobbies. It's just his hobbies are very productive.
I feel like his hobbies have shifted from
Yeah,
games,
Like entertainment
and,
value.
yeah, to like being part of a family,
exactly.
and that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. I mean, it's really good for him and good on him and etc. It's just
But you should still
just
like,
a different.
you should still have your own time and your own kind of like,
Yeah,
as a person, you need to have like
You've lost the lead.
something that you like doing.
exactly. And he does. I mean, his version of that nowadays is like, he likes to go snowboarding in the mountains. So he'll like do snowboarding trips with, you know, some of the guys he knows. That's like something he does. And then he kind of got into like mixing drinks or making drinks. So like he'll get like high-end, like I don't know what he's into, like whiskey or whatever, like mixed drinks. So he kind of does that as like a hobby. Like
Nice.
his hobbies have just shifted. It's just that simple.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, he still has his own passions and everything. But yeah, with Curtis, I mean, it's just like $1,000. It's just like, it's a lot to me. But, you know, I don't know what Curtis has, you know, but I get the impression that it's hundreds of thousands of dollars just like available to him. And
No.
so yeah, if that's what you have, then just $1,000 is nothing.
Me and him have had these conversations, and he has money, but a lot of his money
Yeah.
is like he has, like he has his house, and then he
Yeah.
has his house from his first marriage or with his first fiance, like his baby mama,
Yeah.
and like he has that money, but it's tied up in the house.
Yeah, so it's all investment.
Yeah. Like he
Yeah.
has access to it if he really wanted to, but he doesn't have just like $100,000
It's not
on
lying
it.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I get it, and you know that's the difference of like wealth versus you know, just having like being wealthy and being rich are like two different things.
Yeah.
Like, they're not the same thing.
And we were talking about like his company. He was like, my company's probably worth $1 million, but
Yeah.
over, you know, I mean, realistically, I don't have, you know, I make like 100K a year, whatever it is he makes, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, at the same time, like for me anyways, like if I like were to save up for a year and like set aside money every month, like I could get up to that level of like $1,000 on a poker game. But it'd be like, all right, that's like my one thing a year. Like like that's it. Like there's nothing else.
Oh yeah. If I didn't have like Nevaeh and Megan and Iva, like
Yeah.
Grant, no problem. Who cares?
But
I
it's
could've-
just like,
yeah.
you know, $1,000 on, you know, brand new clothes for my kids, or
Exactly.
you know, like sporting equipment. Like that's a lot more important to me. Yeah, but no, we could have a game sometime. I mean, we could do like I don't know, you know, a house game.
Yeah. We were playing. You probably played it, and I think we've talked about this with like Megan when we were at Rocky's house.
Yeah.
We played In Between,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
and they play for like quarters, but even if you play
Yeah.
for a quarter, it ends up being like $20.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I actually bought that game In Between. Actually, this Saturday. I mean, if you guys wanted to bring like quarters or
Yeah.
dollars, like we could do a round of In Between. The game's just addicting. But I have the pogs and the dice.
Your favorite game, 31.
So annoying. It's not poker. It's just stupid. And you may as well play 379. At least that's 3-card poker. Dude, I miss Dealer's Choice and all the different games.
The Black Mariah.
Freaking pages of games, yeah. Low Chicago. Basketball, baseball. Freaking low hole.
Andy would get so mad. We're not playing all these other games.
Oh, buddy. Okay, alright, fine. Let's just play Omaha. No Omaha. Alright, let's make it nuts. No nuts. So funny. Fine, 7-card stud.
What
Let's
was
be
the
boring.
game? What was the game where we played? It's Omaha, but you can use all 4 cards.
That's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Good old nuts. Yeah, that is intense.
They're like, I got a straight flush.
Like, well, I have a royal flush. You lose.
You know?
Like, every time, it's like straight flush every single time. The hands are just so skewed. Remember Anaconda? That
Yeah.
one's crazy. I still have that poker pack, like the printout that I typed up
Good
of all the
times.
different games.
What'd you guys play for in the
About to
brig?
prevail.
Like job duties or
Hot
something?
sauce and push-ups.
Oh,
So like I won the most in a brig and lost the most. So at one point I had to drink the entire cup of hot sauce, and I was running the church service, and because I was a chaplain assistant,
yeah.
and so I drank it at breakfast, and then the next morning, and it's a tall cup of hot sauce, so it wasn't like a small cup.
Like how hot is hot? So, like what kind?
Like, you know those little packets they have of Tabasco, like you know, like the fire sauce they have at
Taco Bell? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like equal to that.
So it's like that,
Okay.
but Diablo. So I filled up an entire cup with them because basically like your buy-in would be for like 10 of those, and I lost like 10 buy-ins or something, so I had to like drink 100 of them.
Oh my god.
And so I filled up an entire cup with them, like a big gulp. And freaking, I had to drink it straight. That's the rule, is you have to drink it all at once, whatever you lost the night before. And so I drank it all at breakfast. So then, like, you know, right after breakfast on Sundays or brunch was church. So I'm running the church service. 10 minutes into the service, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. The bathroom's like in the front where the pastor is, you know, preaching.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting in the back running the slideshow. And I tell one of my assistants to take over. I have to go through the church service to the bathroom. And then everyone can hear me because it's like in a gymnasium. I'm like, oh, like it burns. It's like burning coming out. Oh, it's so bad. Freaking just like blew through me. It's like pure liquid.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Friggin'
But I also set a record for winning the most.
Corey, like one of those, like this guy I work with had like one of those bottles, like world's hottest hot sauce, like made with like scorpion peppers and
Yeah.
ghost peppers, and
Diablo, yeah.
he's like, I give you $50 if you take a spoonful.
Oh.
Corey did it, and then
Oh.
like the rest of the night, he was just like burning, and like he said he couldn't eat for like 2 days. Just was nonstop running.
Jeez. So funny. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Another amazing day at work.
Yeah, it's kind of slow. Sold a $3,000 Master Series Sony OLED. That's a good sale.
It was so slow that you had to be there on Monday.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
it's the busiest day.
Yep. I mean, I had some troubleshooting I had to deal with. Like, that's mostly what Mondays are, like troubleshooting. So I had to deal with that.
I feel like your next thing should be like, all right, I work Monday. What the hell? Are you there?
I just got transferred to Fire Team Leader.
My game just like randomly just quit.
What? Are you kicked out?
No, it it literally just quit. The game did. I'd reload it.
So are you in it right now?
No, the game like crashed.
Oh, so you're in the home screen?
Yeah.
But you just got back in?
Well, the game's loading.
Oh, you're back in the game?
The game's loading.
So you're in the game stockpile?
No, the game crashed. Like it went to my desktop.
Oh, okay. So the Halo game is loading, so you're almost in a menu of Halo.
Well, I'm in the menu now.
Okay. Well, I can quit out.
Okay, I sent you an invite.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should be like, all right, I'll work Monday, but I work half a day.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that.
Okay,
But
I'll
again,
work Monday.
I went up to him, like last Monday, I left 5 minutes early. And which is actually 10 minutes early, because if you stay to close, you have to close down, which takes 5 minutes. So that was like nice to get out of there a little bit earlier. I accepted your invite. I don't know why I didn't do it. It won't let me join you.
Really?
Oh, it says I'm in your fire team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says you're the leader. So yeah, I try to get back like 5 minutes early. So then this Monday or today, I was like a half hour early. I'm like, all right, like I'm ready to go. Like save the company some money because I switched to hourly and from salary. And he's like, what? Save the company $8? Like, no, you can stay here. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I mean, I stayed busy all day. Like, I was working on quotes and like I have this Supercell I think I've told you about. Like, it's $250,000, and we're finally gonna start installing it this Thursday. So I've been like comparing all the numbers. Like, the quote's been revised like 10 times. So I have to compare the original quote that I quoted them, and then with the updated quotes over the last year versus like what reality is. And I have to compare all the different numbers, and then like we've had to substitute some of the product, and then like some of the product has gone up in price, but they shouldn't be liable for that since they put down a down payment. So I have to like adjust all the pricing and stuff. So it's just like a ton of comparative work. I've been working on it in Google Sheets, and
So
just
do you still
going through it all.
So since you're hourly, do you still get commission?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only difference of hourly to salaried is in salaried, like if I work an extra like hour or 2 hours or whatever, like, oh well, like the company wins basically. Scott
Yeah,
wins.
Yeah.
But if I work under the time, he would always charge me no matter what. Like if I worked at like if I left a half hour early, he'd be like, all right, you either lose an hour of pay or you lose an hour of vacation. What do you choose? Like he would never just like let me go an hour early, even though like I'd work late all the time or even come in early all the time, and like skip lunches or take short lunches or whatever. So it's always one way. So I'm like, well, let's make it both ways. So let's go to hourly. So if I'm here, you're paying me. If I'm not here, you're not paying me. So it's a win-win because for me, because when I'm not there, like if I leave early, he doesn't have to pay me, but I don't have to sit there and fight him for like vacation time or something like that. And then if I work later, I get paid for it. So
Yeah.
it's it's a positive. I'm glad it's switched because like I made a comment in our meeting. I was like, "You're basically already treating me like I'm hourly." He's like, "Yeah, pretty much." Like, so let's just make it official. And he's like, well, it's not actually official. You are salaried. I'm like, no, I want to go hourly. Like, I was just so tired of the games.
So then you have to like debate on a like you have to argue with like how much he's gonna pay you, or is it like standard?
No, that's standard. Like, we agreed on that when I first started.
Oh,
Like, we came up with an annual salary, and then we're like, all right, well, the hourly is just gonna be the exact same, you know, amount, just divided by the hours I work.
yeah.
So that way, as long as I work a regular schedule, then I'll get the exact same pay. If I work less, I get less. If I work more, I get more.
Enemy flag carrier spotted.
So, I mean, that's the nice thing about it. And it's based off the average that I did, like, the year before. So, it's all averaged out.
Turned our flag.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, like, Flans isn't that bad to work at. It's just two things that suck about it. Scott is number one, obviously. And number two is, like, kind of because of Scott, but also just in general.
Yeah.
Like, I have no growth. I have no way to, like, grow, like, and be, like, you know, all right, well, I'm going to get promoted, and now I'm going to be, like, a manager. Or I'm going to be, like, the general manager. Or I'm going to be, like, you know, a trainer. Like, I need a bigger company to grow in.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, the most I'll get is, like, you know, 5 or 10 grand here or there. Like, I want a bigger growth.
The enemy has your
I
flag.
mean, I don't want to just be, like, doing the exact same job in 10 years from now. Like, that's not okay with me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to grow. And it's a small company. I mean, it's better than, you know, working the freezer at Blue Bunny. But even at the freezer, you know, you can grow there too. You can become a supervisor or operator, or, you know,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of options.
Yeah.
Get over
Why
to the
don't
cooler.
you? Why don't you open your own company?
Because it takes a ton of time and capital. So, I mean, it depends on what I'm doing exactly. Like, if I'm doing something like IT, like consulting, and like I would go in and, like, you know, check out people's network and, like, you know, make sure that their system's wired or, like, correctly wired or something like that. Like, if I'm working full-time at Flans and I'm starting out, like, that means I'll have to be doing it, like, on my days off or my evenings or, like, weekends, stuff like that. And that's just time I don't want to sink in. I'd rather have that time with my family. And then, you know, it also takes money. Like, if I want to get my own equipment, I have to start buying stuff. I really don't want to sink, you know, capital into that. I mean, I get it. You know, in long term, it makes sense because you're setting yourself up for future residuals. I just don't have a desire to run a company. I want to be higher up in a company. Basically, what I'm saying is I want to be like Taylor. That's pretty much it. Like, what Taylor has is exactly what I want. Just to be, like, high up in a good company. And then they'll take care of you. I mean, you know how, like, like, tech companies take care of people?
Well, I mean, I agree, but I disagree at the same time because so many things could happen, and then, you know, say you get fired or whatever, they're not going to care about you.
It's true. It's very true.
I mean,
Although I was
I agree
talking
with
to
what
this
you're
guy-
saying. I agree with what you're saying, but
Yeah, no. Well, I was talking to this guy who, his buddy, his roommate worked for Google, and, like, he worked for them for, like, a year, and then they let him go. They gave him 3 years severance pay. And, I mean, yeah, you know, obviously it sucked that he got fired, or let go, laid off, or whatever it was. But they paid for him, I mean, for years. Like,
they
he had
might-
plenty of time to get back on his feet.
well, did he have a contract with them? Like, is that?
I don't know the details. I'm not sure. So, yeah, maybe if he did, then that makes sense. He just paid out the
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really sure. All I know is, like, they did really well. I mean, I get it. Like, you know, my chance of being, like, laid off at Flans are extremely low. Like, I'm critical to the company.
Yeah.
But it's just Scott is a horrible person, and I can't deal with that.
Yeah, like, I get, like, I'm not just, like, you know, the chance of me getting fired at Wells is, like, slim to none unless I mess it up myself.
Returned their
But
flag.
at
Yeah.
the same time, like, if something were to happen and they laid people off, like, they just get rid of me and they're not going to pay my bills for me, so.
Exactly. Like, they're not gonna care. And, like, you know, with Wells, like, the, you know, big thing about Wells is, like, remember when they got rid of, like, 30 people from corporate?
Yeah.
and then the next year they like rehired like 10 or something. Like, I mean, they like did this huge like purge, and then they found out like,
Yeah.
no, we fired too many people. Let's rehire people. Like,
Well, they can
it just sucks
rehire
for
them
those people.
at a cheaper rate, you know.
Exactly. It's terrible. So yeah, I get what you're saying. There's stuff like that that's just terrible, and that you have to deal with if you're at a larger company. But that's why it's key to be someone like Taylor, where you're like a department head and like, you know, critical to the company. I mean, of course, the company can always go under, and you know, stuff can happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be in that boat.
Like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, exactly. I love that movie.
I work for a
Oh,
company
funny.
called Enron.
They've taken our flag.
Yeah.
We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
How was your day?
It was good. We went to Shields today and had
Yeah.
me and Megan had lunch at
We have eyes
Qdoba.
on the enemy flag carrier.
Where at?
Qdoba.
Oh
Enemy
yeah.
captured.
I like Chipotle better.
I just like to go to Qdoba because you can get nachos.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And then we came home, and then we went to Four Brothers for dinner.
Flag.
Ah, Four Brothers this time, and not Five Guys.
Yeah. And then just been hanging out.
Nice. Damn it! I almost got a guy in that freaking Rocket Hog. Rocket Hog. Robots in disguise.
The enemy has your flag.
Ooh.
So would there ever come a point in time
An ally returned
where
our flag.
Elizabeth could
Ground
get
vehicle
higher
on
up and you could just like quit and search for another job that way?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think it's extremely likely. Like, I mean, you can only get so far on an associate's degree.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at a larger company, you know, once you get to certain levels, like, they want a bachelor's. So, yeah, she can definitely get higher up, and it definitely make her time, like, better. And theoretically, like, I could go to, like, part-time, if that's the case.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, focus my time on working, like, on getting a new job, and, you know, focus her time on at work, and it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, she wants like the exact opposite. She wants me to get her up so she can not look for a job, but just stay home with the kids. Which, you know, I wish I could do that for her, like Taylor does for Maggie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I thought
But
Maggie was going to school
not
or
there.
she was finishing up college so she could do something.
Yeah, she's like in her final program, or I think she's about to graduate.
I mean, I'm not.
But yeah.
Whatever their plans are, that's cool. It's like,
Yeah.
why go to school if you're just gonna be a stay-home mom though? I don't know. I guess
No, she is. She wants to do something like kind of part-time kind of stuff. Like,
Flag carrier ripping.
I think she's going for like interior design. She's changed her majors like so many times.
Really?
So she's like has all these credits and time like into all these different majors.
Hopefully it doesn't.
But
cost.
she's finally graduating, so she's doing something she
An
likes,
ally returned our flag.
and it's like kind of a part-time deal, is my understanding of it.
I gotcha.
But yeah, interior design. Remember Power Thirst?
I think so.
So funny, the YouTube videos about the energy drink. And they're like, it'll make you win at everything. And they're like, it'll make you win at life.
Confirmed.
Win at marathons, win at marriages, win at interior design. It's just so funny.
Now
I love Power
some
Thirst.
bones to break.
And then Jason will always play the gay version. It's like Minergy, like dick.
5 minutes remaining.
Like, why is he always playing that?
He's secretly gay.
No, I always stay busy at work. I mean, there's always stuff I can learn about, like, you know, new technologies coming out, or like, you know, models coming out, or,
Yeah.
you know, TVs, comparing like what we have versus what's out there. We have access to this website called ProSource University. So we're like part of a buying group. A buying group is like what, you know, smaller companies, like how they buy their product. Like, so Best Buy, you know, they'll buy like 10,000 units of like a 55-inch Sony. And so they'll get it at a certain rate. Well, ProSource, they'll be like 10,000 units of that same model, and so they'll get the same rate. And then all the small companies will buy from them. Like, they're a distributor.
Crazy.
So that's like a buying group is what they call that. And so anyways, they have this like online website that you can like go to do trainings, and they have like trainings of like thousands of hours of just different topics, like everything audio and video related, like
Wow.
from networking to like, you know, different theories of sound to like installation and just a ton of different things.
Let me
So
ask you. So, like, I watch a ton of YouTube, and like, there's guys on there talking about business and they're entrepreneurs and whatever.
yeah,
Some guys say that going to college is like a waste of money and time. Because companies nowadays, some companies, a lot of more companies are going to, they don't require, especially after COVID.
yeah.
But, so I guess I was wondering what you think.
No, I completely disagree with that. I mean, overall, it's kind of truer what they're saying in like bigger cities, but when it comes to like Midwest, like the Midwest just isn't there. Like Midwest is kind of more old school.
Yeah.
Like, we're not like tech companies here. We don't, you know, we're not like the bigger cities here. Like, even Omaha is just like a super version of Sioux City. Like, it's just not us. I mean, if we're talking about like coastal cities or like larger cities, then sure, you know, I agree. But I think Midwest is so old school that the degree really opens up a lot of doors for you. Now, when I've been applying to all these different jobs, some of them do say, you know, must have master's degree or equivalent experience. So if that's true, then sure, if you have the equivalent experience, that's great. But what if you don't have the equivalent experience?
This is
Then you
true.
need the degree. So it still opens doors. I mean, so I don't think it's a waste of time at all, or money. I think it's a good thing, because it shows people that you're capable of, you know, that commitment of doing something. Like, I'm definitely pro college, 100%.
Well,
and if you
yeah.
look at the stats, like people who have an associate's degree versus people who have a high school degree, like their average annual salaries are like 10 to 20 grand higher.
Really?
And then you throw on a bachelor's and it's like 50 grand higher. And then you throw on master's and it's like 75 grand higher. Like, it's the average, and I mean, it depends on the field you're in, and you know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
variables.
Yeah.
But on average, just if you take the broad average of all the people who work and don't have a degree and have like a certain level degree, like on average, you're gonna make more money. It's that simple. So, I mean, part of it is like just going to school as an adult. It kind of trains you to like how important it is to learn and like what it's like to be in a professional environment. I mean, academic environments are different from, you know, work environments, but they're kind of similar in ways too.
Yeah.
And it also teaches you the importance of a schedule. Like, there's so many kids we've hired at Flans, like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, who like are late constantly. Like, there's like 25-year-olds that like, this one guy was like, I think I told you about him. He like, I lost my car. He's like 25 years old. He got so drunk that he lost his car.
Nice.
Like, I mean, that's the kind of stuff, like, yeah, you know, people joke about doing that in college, but on average, like, you can't really do that in college with time and still graduate. Like, you have to be able to manage your time and do your homework and
Just
stuff
a
like
just a
that.
good buddy of mine.
So again, college is a good thing.
Known him for a long time.
So no, I disagree with that statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I see aspects of it being true, kind of, in like larger cities, but even that, I still think it's good to have a degree.
Only
And I don't
gets
think it's a
you-
waste of time or money.
only gets you so far with them. Obviously, with the better degree, you'll get higher in the company.
Exactly. Like, I was looking at this background. I think I told you, like, I set all these, like, different, sayings and quotes as my backgrounds at work. And this one picture I posted, it shows 4 people. They're all standing and looking outside of a window, or looking out a window, I mean. And so the first guy is standing on cash, and it's like a ton of cash. And he's so high up that he can't even see out the window because he's above where the window is. And then the second guy is standing on like school books, and so the school books were not that high, so like he couldn't see like out the window. It was like too low for the window. And so then the third guy like had a mix of the cash and the school books, and so he was able to like see perfectly out the window. Yeah, it's only 3 guys, not 4. And so like the lesson was like too much money and you don't have a good perspective. And then there's like too much education and you can't even see, like real life. And they're like, if you have enough money and education, that's a balanced view. Like, that's perfect. Like, that was a lesson, kind of. But, like, I totally agree with it. Like, you need so much money to survive, but, like, you can't just have all money and no education. Like, all these YouTube stars who are just, like, not going to school or whatever, like, they just blow their money and have, like, they can't even spell. They have no idea how to do, like, anything. They're, like, people can be, like, stealing from them. They just don't know anything. Because they're just, uneducated. Like, there's kids who, like, drop out of high school just to game. I mean, and that's awesome for them. And, I mean, I guess if they realize that, like, they're creating their life. Like, that'll be their life. Like, that's what you have to do is, get followers and, get sponsors and just do that for the rest of your life because you have nothing else to fall back on.
Well, a lot of those people like transition to other things.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but the smart ones do.
The smart ones do.
They transition
but
as
also,
time goes on.
Some of those people, the only reason why they're able to do that stuff is because their parents are really wealthy. So they can buy them like these amazing gamer rigs or just allow them to basically game all the time instead of work. And so, like, those people, then it doesn't matter. Like, they're already set.
So are you like, so when it comes to like, so your kids, like all 4 of them, no 4 of them. Do you want them to go to college and get a bachelor's degree, or are you like opposed to them like going to like trade school?
You kind of cut out at the end. You said go to college or what?
Or go to like to learn a trade, or learn a trade, or do you think
So-
that's like a waste of time?
You've
I
lost
think
me.
that going to college is the number one. And
But say they didn't
I
want to do
think-
that, they wanted to learn a trade instead. Would like?
well, if they don't want to do college and, we like talk it out and like they understand, what they're saying and what they're like giving away and giving up by saying that, and they're like throwing away their future, like limiting their options to be like, professional tradesperson, and they understand that, then, I just want them to be happy, definitely.
Yeah.
But I just, I wish I could teach them the value of, what they'd be giving up. Because, like, you're never, ever gonna get back to your freshman year of college. Like, at a university, like, 19 years old, going to college. Like, the experience of that is, like, once in a lifetime. You never will get that back. And then, like, besides that, getting, like, your trade, like, you can do that anytime. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
Like, the younger you are when you're going to college, the better, because you don't have all those commitments and obligations. Like, you can stay in the dorms. You can focus on just school. Like, you don't have, like, kids. You're not married. You're not living off face. Like, it's a lot harder to go to school when you're married and have kids. And you know, the same could be kind of thought about with trade school, but I just think that the college is way more important. Like, why not get your degree, then work on your trade, and that way, you know, you'll be able to, you know, do you whatever the trade is and get into management of that trade, like get a higher up position, or start your own company because you can go to college for like entrepreneurship. Like, you know, they have that degree.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's just so many different things you can do in college. Like, I'm like very pro college, like no matter what. But you know, if that's what they want to do, and I mean, if they generally just don't want to do college at all, like you can't make them do college because they'll just like intentionally fail, and in the long run, like it'll just be worse for everyone because you'll have wasted all that time and money doing nothing.
Exactly. Well, some people, I mean, like okay, say welders for instance, when they go to trade school, they make really good money when they get done.
Yeah,
and they get a job.
they do.
You know? It's not like they're, you know, that's a bad career by any means. I just
No, but it's limited.
yeah, it
So,
is. This is
you
true.
know, let's say you start out like 20 an hour, which you'll probably start out higher, but let's
Yeah.
say 20 an hour. And then let's say after like 10 years you're at like 30 an hour. Like that'd be considered pretty good. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of standard. And then let's say like you get into like, you know, management position or trainer or something like that, and like eventually you're making like 35 an hour. Like, so basically you're talking like, you know, 60 grand and then like maybe 70 grand, and then eventually like hopefully you're at like 80 grand or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you had a degree and like you started your own company, or if you had a degree and like, you know, became like higher up, like, you know, general manager or like, you know, branch manager or something like that of like a welder entire area, then you'll start getting into like 6 figures. You're like at 100 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, again, like I'm just so pro college. Like I understand, you know, some people just they're not interested in that, and like they just want to weld for the rest of their life, and they're fine with that. And I mean, that's good for them.
Yeah.
I'd feel sorry if it was my kids because they'd be living their own futures. I mean, I think most people, if you give them the choice, I mean, everyone's different, but I think most people would rather have 4 weeks of vacation, you know, a year, and 40-hour work weeks, and, you know, like, you know, a good salary that they can live off of. Like, I don't think most people want to work 50, 60 hours and be making as much as the other guy who's only working 40 hours a week. Like,
Yeah.
they'd rather work less hours, and especially when you have kids, you know, you'd rather have more family time. And then, you know, let's say you're working for like a shady or a shifty company as a laborer, and you only get 2 weeks of vacation, or you get no vacation. They'll just pay you, and if you want the time off, you can get it. Like, you get laid off, but you don't actually get technical vacation. I mean, I think most people would rather have actual vacation, you know, and sick days. Like, there's just so many benefits that come with like a better company that you can get in with when you have a degree. I mean, if you have skills, like especially tech skills, like, you know, if you're a programmer, or, you know, like a debugger, or like something in software, or, you know, just like the tech industry, then yeah, sure, you know, maybe you don't need a degree, and your resume is just like you're writing a script for them or coding like right then and there, and that could be, you know, your resume, quote unquote. Then absolutely, for those people, yeah, college is kind of stupid because they already know how to, you know, how to do the field. But, you know, it's not like we have a lot of software developers. You know, we're not putting out a ton of like coders. Like, I mean, for those kind of people, you know, maybe a degree is stupid, and so it makes more sense for them to just, you know, figure out, like, work on their coding and just figure out how to be a better programmer. But if they're looking at 2 people and they can both, you know, write Java equally well, and one of them has a degree and the other one doesn't, they're gonna hire the guy with the degree. So I just think college will always give you like a step up, like a foot in the door.
But the sad part is, if one of those person has a degree like to the max, and a person only went to high school but knows somebody in the company,
It's true.
that's the shitty
Very,
part
very
too.
true. Yeah, I mean, it's networking is what they call it. That's like literally 50% of hires are networking.
It's not about what you know; it's about who you know.
Exactly.
It's the saying. I mean, it's not always true, but
But you know, another part of that is college is a giant network. I mean, you make friends that you went to college with.
yeah,
Like that guy I ran into at Pizza Ranch. Like I went to school with him, and like my professor Sarah Deanda, who was like in charge of my bachelor's program.
The enemy is about
Like
to
I
prevail.
went to
Not
like she wrote this really cool thing on my LinkedIn profile. She's like endorsed me for a ton of stuff, and I mean it's networking. Like she's literally sent me like different job resume like our applications, and like recommended me for different jobs, and like she's the one who got me into Flans. Like it was because of her. Like without her, I wouldn't be at Flans. Like she got me out of the freezer into Flans. So
without-
that's literally 100% networking right there. And that's just because I was going to school. Like otherwise, I never would have heard of Flans. I've never heard of it before, you know, I started working there. And so it's just like, you know, 100% networking. So networking is huge.
yeah, this is true.
And I don't really do like a lot anymore. Like, you know, in the Air Force, I was in all these like different programs and volunteer stuff. And then even in high school, I did a lot. Like, but now I'm like nothing. Like my quote unquote extra stuff was like school. Like that was it.
Yeah,
I mean, most people, you know, when they get older, like, you know, into adulthood,
Lose
especially when they
ambition.
start families, they lose their like their extra groups, like,
Enemy there.
you know, volunteering and doing different things like that. So yeah, school's a great way to network. Okay. 45. That's what you said earlier. Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everyone has their own preferences. I mean, that's fine with them.
nah, I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing. Like college is great.
Yeah.
Like I want Nevaeh to go to college, but
Exactly. Like, you want her to have the best chance for success possible. Like, you know, if she had to choose, like, between not going to college and just, like, going to work at McDonald's when she's 18 or going to college, like, I'm sure you would choose go to college.
yeah. But then again, I don't
I
want
mean-
her to go to college just to waste $50,000
Well, absolutely.
or whatever.
Like,
You know,
it
how-
can be a waste. Like,
Yeah.
that's the main thing is it needs to be focused. Like, you know, most people can knock out an associate's, you know, pretty easily. You know, that's like basically an extension of high school. And it's just, you know, once you get your associates, then you just got to figure out what you want to major in for your bachelor's. And I mean, even that, like an associate's, you can even, you know, get that like specific and major in. I mean, she has a lot of time to figure that out, but at the same time, you know, it's good to always think about it.
Yeah.
And if she wants to be like a gamer or like a game tester or something like that, like there's schools for that. Yeah. I mean, ultimately it just comes down to, you know, what your chances are. You just have higher chances the more you have going for you.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna have the opportunity if you have like no money to your name. If you just have education and, you know, nothing to build off of, no experience, no money, then you're not gonna get anywhere either. Like you need to have real world experience too.
Yeah, it's shitty. All those people that go to college and spend all that money and time, and then they're like, "Yeah, we'd really like to hire you, but you have no experience."
Yeah, exactly.
Or
But like those people should be like, that's like the perfect time. Like they shouldn't be married and have kids at that point. Like maybe they could be married, sure, but like not have kids yet because they need to start at the bottom. So they should like be interning.
there's this
Like
guy.
that's a perfect time to intern.
So funny. There's this guy that I worked with at Wells, he's like an example of someone that just got boned. He like is so he like after he went to college, he's like so anti-college because
Really? That's so
he
funny.
went to college and he got a degree in like internet and routers and just
Networking.
yeah, everything there is to know about that stuff. And
Yeah.
he applied at several places and he had an interview at Wells. And to do what he was gonna do, to like work on the servers and deal with like the routers and the internet connection,
Yeah.
the Ethernet cables, and he was like, you know, went to school for that. And they're like, yeah, we'd love to hire you, but you're overqualified, so we can't hire you. Like,
Wow.
what does that mean? So
Yeah.
I do too good of a job. I know too much.
Yeah, I've heard that too myself. Overqualified. Unfortunately, you know, it's just kind of like a Midwest mentality. Like, you know, if you were to be in like a bigger city, you know, even like Des Moines or Omaha, like I think you'd have a higher chance of getting hired.
I feel like
Unfortunately, Lamar's and Sioux City just
Yeah.
aren't really the best for that.
no, they're not. But I feel like, you know, he was the one getting screwed. Like the company would have got a great deal. They're getting someone that that knows more than what they're asking for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're getting the better deal.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you hire that person? Like, oh, he knows more than what we want. No, obviously.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean it happens. It's definitely true. I mean that's something that I've heard myself, but at the same time, you know, it's just you got to keep trying. Like
Yeah.
Taylor literally like sent out hundreds of applications.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
he didn't just like apply at like 10 places. Like
Yeah.
he just spent, you know, months applying. And like on top of that, Maggie, you know, her full-time job for a while was to just try and get Taylor hired somewhere. So she, on top of Taylor, she was sending like hundreds of resumes herself for Taylor, like on behalf of Taylor.
Crazy.
And so like that's how they got him hired and found like a good job. So I mean, it's a numbers game, you know. You just gotta apply. And so that's, you know, like if it wasn't for you being on vacation right now, like I'd be applying. Like once you're back on, you know, work schedule or whatever, like I'm gonna be back to like I want to try and apply it at like one place a night. Like
Yeah.
that's like my goal.
Dude,
I mean, it's nice to take a little bit of a break. You know, you get burnt out after you do it for so long. But I mean, that's what you got to do. You just got to apply constantly.
if I didn't have Nevaeh and like I was single and
Power seats
you know
don't
Megan or
come
whatever and Ivan,
Yeah.
I was telling Corey the other night, I was like, I would totally apply to be one of those guys that moves the shipping containers off and on the boat.
Oh yeah.
Those guys make. I've looked up job applications, but they make astronomical amounts of money.
Power seats.
This.
They make
Secure.
like This was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, but they were
Yeah.
the hourly salary was $120 an hour.
This. That's a lot. Yeah, crane operator.
Yeah.
Yeah, like anything dealing with water, like you get some more. Like, you know, undersea welders, like underwater welders.
Yeah.
They make insane amount of money.
Yeah.
Like I knew a few guys who were scuba certified in the brig, like from the Navy,
Yeah.
and a couple of Marines, and so like they're going for, like they already had their welding cert, and so they're going for their underwater welding cert.
Extremely
And,
dangerous,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, you know, when you come from being in the Navy and
Yeah.
being like in the SEALs, then it's actually less dangerous.
Yeah. But I'm sure they pay just like hazard pay on top of like
Yeah.
normal pay.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like and then like so I don't know if you know him, but his name was Ron Harnick. He was the supervisor at Wells. No, you don't know him.
Friend
He
of
started-
who?
His name was Ron Harnick.
He's a friend of who?
He was a supervisor at Wells,
Oh no, I don't.
and he's done all sorts of different jobs. And he was telling me, he was like, one day we were at work, and he was like, "Yeah, I just got a job offer. I know some guys that are looking for guys to go work over in the Middle East, like a drilling rig."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, you go work over there for like 6 months. They pay you $200,000."
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have Beth and, you know, the kids, like, that's, like, what I was leaning towards, you know,
That is
before I met Beth,
like-
was doing something like that.
That is insane. Like making 200 grand in a time period that some people don't even make in 2 years.
Yeah, and then on top of that, a lot of those people,
We're one power seed.
oh yeah, so another thing is, like, oil rigs. Have you heard about oil rigs paying well?
Yeah, I know oil rigs. Well, some of them, not all of them do, but yeah, they pay pretty. It depends what kind of oil rig you're talking about, like offshores.
Yeah, offshore oil
Yeah,
rig, like,
yeah.
where you're, like, out for, like, 6 weeks at a time or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard they make a lot.
they do. They get hazard pay, they get all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Your team needs one more power
Like I would
seed.
totally be doing something like that, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's life.
But also on the other end of that spectrum, the more you make, the more you spend, theoretically.
Well, yeah, because you get used to that level
And
of living.
there are guys like, you know, they're the guys I watch on YouTube, and they're talking about how he only made 40 grand a year, and he managed to save 5,000 or no 8,000 every year for like 5 years, and then he started his own business.
Crazy.
Your team just scored.
Like basically
Yeah.
living as minuscule as you
Power
can, you
seed
know.
stockpile incoming.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen YouTubers, yeah, like where they'll like pay off all their debt, like pay off their house, where like living like never going out,
Yeah.
eating at home constantly, like not doing any vacations, and like paying off their house within a few years.
Just like maximizing
Ready to
your,
secure.
Yeah. Maximizing their income.
you know.
We're one power seed
Yeah.
closer.
I don't have a desire to do
Oh
that.
yeah, that's
I'm okay being in debt and living life.
the American dream.
Exactly.
Or you're in debt? No, you'd be more in debt.
Exactly.
You're not
Like,
in debt enough.
I'd rather, you know, enjoy my life and, you know, my family, and
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not ideal to be in debt, but it's pretty standard.
Yeah, there's a
Sure.
guy I work with. I don't know if I told you, but he'd been married,
Your team needs one more power
and
seed.
his house was paid off, and well, then they got divorced, however many years later or whatever, and he was gonna
Yeah.
go buy another house, and they're like, he's like, you have no credit. They're like, what? I have a house paid off, car paid off, everything's paid off. Yeah, but you have no credit because you have no current like credit coming in. You have no credit cards, no house loan, no car loan. So they're like, yeah, we can't qualify you for a house.
Wow.
So he had like 60 grand in the bank. He said he had to go out and get a car loan. He's like, yeah, I went and bought a truck. I have a loan on it. I don't even drive it.
Oh my god.
Just so he could buy a house.
So stupid.
And he'll like joke about it, like, yeah, you need debt to get more debt.
That's true. That's true.
You don't have debt? No, he can't give you more debt. Sorry.
That's how credit works.
Yeah, it's
It's a
like
bizarre system.
ass backwards.
But, you know, for most people, like, it fits them. Like,
Yeah.
most people are like, it's completely logical. Now, most people don't have their house paid off and like 60 grand in the bank. That's not normal.
Team just scored.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Like, that's a goal of a lot of people, but it's not normal.
Normal's like, what? Your credit cards are maxed out and you're in debt? Now you're doing it.
Exactly.
Now you're cooking with gasoline.
Well, I mean, the smart thing to do is what, like, Mona, I think I told you about her. She works in accounting at my work. Like, what she does is she buys everything on her credit card, like, throughout the
Yep,
year.
I've heard that too.
And then she pays it off, like, every month she pays it off. So, like, if you ever look at it, like, at any given time, it could be, like, $500, you know, 2 grand, 3 grand will be on there. But, like, every single month it's, like, wiped out to zero. So her average balance is like high. Like if you know, let's say it's like a $10,000 credit limit, so she'll have like 5 grand on there, but it like gets paid off constantly, so she doesn't accrue any interest at all. And so she has she has incredible credit because of this.
Yeah,
Because she's always using her credit card and like constantly paying it and keeping like the debt to like the ratio like
Yeah.
low. Yeah.
I've heard that, like, this guy was saying, this rich guy, he was on YouTube and he's talking about how the worst thing that the American people could have got was the debit card.
Yeah.
Credit card is the safest
Way
form
safer.
form of payment. Like, you can
Yep.
spend money on there, it builds your credit, and then if something happens, someone steals your credit, you're not 100% reliable for what's been bought.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very true.
I have heard that. I just, you know, but with this is America, and now they're promoting. Oh, get a debit card for your child.
Well, I think it's actually kind of cool because
It is cool, but
it's you can like teach them, you know, like you can lock out the card, you know, you can control it. If they lose it, you can monitor how much you use, and then you can also like, you know, load $20 onto it so they can go to the movies. Like, I think it's a good thing. Like, I get what the argument is about credit card versus debit card. Like, I understand. But I think when it comes to your kids having a debit card, I think it's really cool because better than giving them $20 cash that they lose, or that, you know, you have no idea if they spend it or like how they spend it or whatever.
so do you agree that you should put your kids on your credit card then, so they can build their credit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that'd be even better. Like that'd be a better choice, but that's not really a program right now. The only program is
Oh
the
my
debit card.
god! I just got a collat. Oh my god!
Hey.
I shot the guy. I no-scoped this guy. Then I turned around and I killed both the driver and the gunner. In the head.
Jeez. Very nice. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking about adding Nevaeh to my credit card, like, not now.
You should.
But maybe when she's like 16 or 17.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely should. Yeah, have her like an authorized user, have her get her own
Yeah.
card,
Yeah.
and then just start, you know, kind of have her like build up her credit off of that. Yeah, that's what my mom did when I was 16. Remember, I used to get all my gas for my motorcycle on it.
Nice.
But yeah, you know, you definitely should. But no, I like the green card, I think it's called, the big credit card or whatever, or debit card. Like, I think it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, credit, like billing credit is, you know, so key. Like,
It is.
I had no idea like how important it was when I was in, you know, like in the Air Force.
Either did I.
Like, I didn't even like care or pay attention to it. Like, I like never even thought about it.
Like, you could make $100 grand a year, but if you have no credit, it doesn't do you any good at all.
Exactly. Like, you can't buy a house.
No,
Like,
can't
you
do
can't
anything.
do anything. I mean, it's so much that's based off your credit score.
Can't buy a car from the car dealership.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Like my cousin Josh, like he had $100 grand in the bank, never had any credit, and they're like, "Yep, we can't give you a house loan."
Yeah. That's why you gotta get credit.
Just
yeah, we get those
refuse.
customers in our
Yeah.
store, and they'll come in with like 10 grand cash and like just buy an entire system. And they're like, all right, cool. And they're like, yeah, I don't believe in credit cards. I'm like, that's fine, we'll take cash.
Yeah,
And then like some of them though, they'll be like, yeah, I have a check. Like, I refuse to have a debit card. I'm like, debit card's going to the same thing, and the same account. And they're like, no, I only use checks. I'm like, well, if you want to take it with you today, we can't accept your check. I'm sorry.
check is
Like,
the most outdated form of payment.
It's
there is.
so insecure. Like, it says your account number on there. It's like a security like risk. It has your bank account number on there. Just so stupid. But yeah, we get a lot of farmers who like come in and pay with checks. Like, that's not a big deal because like they're used to like spending like 100 grand on like farm equipment,
Yeah.
and they'll like pay with a check. So like that's fine. But then we'll also get like a lot of old people who will come in like with checks and like if they're like 90 or like 80, like that's not a big deal. Like, you know, they're obviously fine. But if they're like 50 or like 40, then it's weird and it's kind of sketchy. And we've like gotten so many bad checks.
Yeah, check is just.
Our policy is no more checks.
I don't even understand why people have checks. Like it's just so like.
Well, it's
why
so
are-
annoying.
Why are
Well,
we
they
sitting
use like
there
different
just, like,
excuses.
writing the
They're
check
like, I don't
out?
believe in plastic. Is like some of what they say, and then like some of them will say like, well, I have a $500 limit on my debit card. I'm like, all you have to do is call your bank
Exactly.
and tell them to up your limit. It takes one call. And they're like, who do I call? I'm like, your bank. They're like, what's the number? I'm like, it's on the card. They're like, I don't see the number. I can't read it. I'm like, okay, just tell me what it is. I'll look it up. And I literally like Googled it in front of them, and they'll like just stare at me while I'm Googling it. I'm like, all right, here it is. So annoying.
Yeah, that's like.
Wait.
That's what I got. Like when I had a checking account, me and Jessica had one at Wells Fargo, and that's
Yeah.
what like screwed me over was her. She just kept writing checks after like we broke up, and then she was out doing like drugs and stuff. The account went
Yes.
negative, and she was still writing checks, and they were still allowing the
Yep.
check to go through. And I was like calling Wells Fargo, like I had to eventually talk to the manager of the branch on
Yes.
by the mall. And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, this account is overdraft $500. Like,
Hey.
you can't stop it. She just keeps writing checks, and eventually they did. It was like it got to like almost $800.
Hey. Yeah, that's terrible. That sucks.
They could literally look at the account and see she was writing bad checks, but they're just like, well, she's on the account, and I'm like, you don't care that she's writing bad checks?
That's sad. Yeah, check fraud is a crime. I mean, they can charge her for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like most businesses, if they do take checks, they have a new policy where and this guy hijacked my Ghost, and so I drove off a cliff while he was doing it.
Wow.
And they killed us both.
That's hilarious.
So funny. Oh my gosh, there's this thing like floating in the air over by the look to your right. Go back. There's like a square over by the Warthog. It's just floating in the air.
Really?
It's like a metal plate. Yeah, so weird.
Oh.
But no, what most companies have, yeah, like this. You're not looking. Yeah, come up the ramp, stand, look where I am.
Oh, yeah,
See that?
yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Freaking Halo, come on. I can jump right through it too. They have like a thing where you run it through a machine and it'll like instantly check your account. Like it'll send it like a test amount, kind of like a debit card, like
Yeah,
a dollar
yeah.
purchase.
Yeah.
Like they can do that with checks to make sure it's a valid account that's
They
like
come-
open and has money in it.
In a booth, there
So yeah, that's like what a lot of companies have now. So for them, they don't care. They just, you know, check the account and then that's it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's not. I don't think even with that, I don't think it's like cash instantly. Like it's like treated like a wire transfer. And wire transfers take like a day or something.
Yeah,
So
some
theoretically, they could like go there and pull the money out.
like some states, I know South Dakota. Like if you write a bad check, they can issue a warrant for your arrest depending on how much it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure Frank. That's happened to Frank.
So crazy. He has so many. Did I ever tell you that we looked up like his
Yeah.
like court cases?
Yeah, he does.
He has like
have
pages of court cases against him.
Yep.
It's like an insane amount,
And I've been
like
in that-
all these things against his house.
And being in that profession, you're gonna have people like sue you for like whatever.
Yeah,
That's standard when you're doing that kind of work. But like,
but still.
Some of that, I mean, obviously some of that is his fault as well.
Yeah.
Like not finishing jobs and
Yeah, that's crazy.
Victory.
Yay. Yeah. I have to go. I'll look at the stats and then I have to go.
I figured.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday. But yeah, if you want to, you and Megan can bring like, $3 each, and then it's like 3 ones, and then we'll have some ones, and then we'll all put up ones like per chip or whatever, or just if we only put $1 or something. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever, or do it for quarters. Like I don't care, something. That'd be cool. And we don't have to do it all night. We could just do like one round of it or something.
Yeah.
Check out those stats. Yeah, I didn't do too well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to go swimming tomorrow, but you said you worked, so.
Yeah, exactly. No, like after I saw that you went swimming last Tuesday, I'm like, I should definitely do that my next day off or whatever. Like, I want to do that. Well, I mean, the outside's gonna be open pretty soon here.
June 1st.
Probably Memorial Day. Oh, June 1st. Okay.
Yeah, we already asked him.
Nice. Yeah, I
So-
love going to that place.
Yeah, we're thinking around ideas for Ivan's birthday, which is June 23rd.
Okay.
So we're probably gonna do the party on like what is that weekend? Probably on like the 25th or the 18th or something. Not for sure
Are those Sundays?
yet. No, Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're talking about having the party at Tsunami because they have like a party room, and then you just have pay
Nice.
for the kids.
Well, if you do it on a Saturday, Beth would love to come. If we do it on a Sunday, I would love to come.
Yeah, it'd probably be a Saturday most likely, but I know you probably have to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I have to work every Saturday, except for I get one Saturday off in June, and we're gonna be out of town. It's like June 10th.
Yeah.
Or 11th, whatever that day is.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the other Saturdays I'll be working.
Trailer.
But yeah,
te-
Beth will
teaser-
definitely come up.
Yeah. Teaser trailer for Miss Marvel. Did you watch a trailer for Way of the Water?
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, that was on Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks awesome. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's about time.
And they're supposed to be making 5 of them total.
What? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
James Cameron,
Nice.
he announced like 5 Avatar movies like 3 years ago.
Jeez. Wow. I heard it's like completely like the language is all based on whatever the main actress name is. I can't remember her name. But like that main actress, like she like basically is her like inflections and tones and like she's like what the language is based off of.
You know they modeled the chick, the main chick
Yeah.
from the first one. You know they modeled her after Halle Berry.
Well, I thought they modeled her after herself.
Oh, wow.
Because the actress is the one who plays the
Gamora.
chick from Marvel. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, is that her?
Alright. Yeah, that's her. The one who dies for the Soul Stone. Or no, that's not her.
Zoe Zendana.
Oh wait, she does. Yeah, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, so I thought they modeled after her because she like wore a tactile like suit, so it like felt every movement that she did, and then he just like threw the overlay on top of that.
Vin Diesel's in it.
What's wrong with Vin Diesel? He's a man.
Yeah, he's gonna get mad and go angry mode because they're gonna mess with his family.
I was gonna say family first, family forever.
Yep.
That's
Wakanda,
right.
Wakanda forever.
That's right. All right, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See ya.
All right. All right.
Yep.